How cute. You got 2% on the SPY's pump and dump and you have little diamond hands, right? Well, I caught a explosion move of 12% on Kagra Foods. No, retail did not just get suddenly interested in canned peas. We are following institutional money. And I'm going to dissect AT&T and Kagra Foods to show you how you can also gain those kind of percentages. Let's get started. First thing, you want to use something that showcases sector mapping. So I use FinViz. It's pulled up on the S&P 500. You can see all the stocks. Today, it's February 7th, 2026. And so this is just how the day closed on the one-day performance, but you can change it to the 1 week and you can see big tech looks like a pile of garbage. Basically, consumer, defensive, industrials, financials, healthcare, everything aside from big tech, they're like, get the hell away from us. Now I'm going to go over the SPY because if you look at it, it's kind of in a weird situation where big tech is like the ugly stepsister.
Stepsister?
Every single person who wants to learn a trade, you should immediately start thinking, what is up with this? I have it on the daily right now. Right over here, top to bottom, we were down about 2% on the SPY, while flow of money was rotating outwards from big tech. Obviously, we know the narrative of OpenAI. It used to be OpenAI was mentioned, stock goes up 10%, like no questions asked. Now it's like OpenAI, get the hell away from me is what's happening, which is something that every trader should understand and learn. You have to see the narrative of what's going on. How did I find Kagra Foods? I have a playbook and I isolate trades by standards and grading. So right now I have this time frame of weekly and monthly. On my chart, I have Kagra Foods. Yes, time frame is weekly and monthly. Right now I'm looking at the weekly. This is my criteria, okay? So we have a volume climax, which is one of the largest, and I have it set at 2 out of 3, but if you look at this volume right here on end of January, it's crazy high. Look at this. Institutions can only create this kind of volume. My favorite book, which I recommend highly to read, Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. She talks about anomalies in volume, and I'm an anomaly in volume trader. So I'm going to zoom out because we really got to zoom out. Kagra Foods just completed a whole sell cycle model. We see massive dump all the way, and then all of a sudden we have an accumulation. Stocks just go sideways for several months, and that is what institutions are doing, accumulating, saying like, oh hey, we want the shares, but we don't really want to notify retail because they always want to stick it to the little guy, basically, right? The time frame I'm looking at is the monthly. Liquidity, is it near-term sell side liquidity or further? And it is. What do I mean about sell side? Well, I have to zoom out and you can see this end of January right over here. We have a lower wick, which means retail. They put stop losses right here. We swept them all. They became sell side liquidity because all Wall Street wants to do is, get them for cheaper and then distribute them for higher. That is the whole goal of Wall Street. They want to make money, just like everyone else, right? And you just don't want to become liquidity. So this to me was A+ because one, we dumped. Then we have insane amounts of volume. End of January, we swept sell side liquidity with volume, meaning institutions are involved, and that's where I want to get at. So we've already have a 3 out of 3 because it swept sell side liquidity. Volume climax, I put 2 out of 3, but in reality, this is insanely high. So it could have been 2, 3. It's hard for me to say like, this is A++ all the time. It's just like, if it's an 8 out of 9 or above, I'm going to take it every time. Now we have the monthly absorption candle, which is the long lower wick, which is a check, 3 out of 3. This to me was A+. Additional things that I highly recommend. With tools like AI, you can make your life so much easier. I Googled on Gemini, you can use whatever the heck you want, but the put call ratio was 0.28, which is super strong bullish. We also have another put call of OI, open interest, very bullish at 0.65. We have institutional plays already surging. There's also a thing called like dark pool prints, which basically means Wall Street can purchase shares on the side that retail cannot handle. They put tons of order flow. Retail didn't just be like, oh, I want to buy some peas. No, institutions are buying this because they cannot manipulate volume, but they can manipulate price. So dark pool prints were basically purchasing all these shares back in January. We had huge, insane increases, 1.24 million on January 26th, 2.1 million shares on January 30th. I used MarketBeat to also take a look at this just to see like OI interest for investors for call options. 99,000. That's a 905% increase. That is not normal. Just in 2 days, it was 7.7%. In 1 week, it was 12% from peak to bottom, which is what I have right here. Now I'm going to isolate it on the weekly so that you guys can kind of see a bit more. That is not a normal move, guys. All right. And that's when you know like, oh, institutional funds are getting through it. So there's several things, right? Have a grading system. And then follow where the institutional players are going, because in order for us to win, That's the only way to trade with them. You can't beat them, so you might as well join them. That's my philosophy. Now I'm going to isolate AT&T. All right, so I have some items on here. I have this pulled up right now on the monthly time frame. I use the same standards. Time frame, this is the monthly, because I bought June expirations and January's for both of my trades. The time frame for this for AT&T is off the weekly. Now, this is very important because, from far away, you're going to be like, oh, Meta and Google, everyone's dumping it, right? They don't want to do anything with regarding AI. However, institutional flow was actually moving towards value communications, AT&T, Verizon. If you literally pull up Verizon, you can see it was moving the same way. And that is not a coincidence. So yeah, look at that. I mean, this is that's not normal. That's very high. So again, following institutional funds, money was moving out of Meta and Google, and it was moving towards value. Same grading style. Time frame, weekly, monthly. Did it sell side? Yes. Did it go monthly absorption candle? Very high. It's all buyers, all right? We have a lower wick. Absolutely. And it's always a bonus. It closed above with a bullish hammer. Love that. That's my setup. Bonus confluence was closing above the 20 MA. Yes, we did. The grade, again, 8 out of 9. Perfect. Something I'm going to take every time. This was a kind of like a momentum play in a way too, because this was after earnings. It just reported on Wednesday, January 28th. Price pushed up after earnings. Success. I got June expirations of this year and January's, and they were up 100% for the Junes. You do not have to play super short expirations to get returns. If you follow institutional money, it will move. And there was also little things I just oh, this is just extras, bonus points for me. We had a $10 billion buyback this week. Volume was basically flight to safety. All right. And I can also show you some of the expiration dates so that you can see wait, there's definitely anomaly, the put call volume and whatnot for all the expirations. You want to follow institutional flow because then you can get these kind of results. All right. So don't be a little follow Wall Street. Don't follow retail. Literally the only way you're going to survive in these markets and in these conditions. Fun and games. I profited off a can of soup. But really, if you're tired of giving all your rent money to Wall Street and you want to trade like true institutions, join us at Trader Foundation Elite Academy and join us on understanding how to trade like this. I'll see you guys there.